FNAF is such a big series, and each game has its own story and its own way of fitting into everything. The original Five Nights at Freddy's is no different, and in fact, there is a hidden secret version of the FNAF 1 story that hardly anyone remembers or talks about. So let's discuss the different versions of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. This is the secret full story of Five Nights at Freddy's. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe, and I've talked about FNAF so much on this channel, I have a whole load of things memorized. Kind of sad. Like, I can't remember my own birthday now, but I can remember that Chica was first and has seen everything. Everything in my head is just FNAF, Skyrim, and Hermitcraft memes. So today we're starting a series on this channel where we delve into each individual FNAF game to get their story. So maybe we can eventually piece it all together. Well, at least if you like this video. So without any further delay, let's do it. So like I said, the game itself actually has two separate stories. The one that was originally intended and the one that it became. Perhaps because the original intent of the game wasn't what it ended up becoming. And Scott has confirmed what we know of FNAF to have been right at a time. So what was the original story of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game? Well, in a Steam post talking about the games, Scott said, "You know, when I released the first game over a year ago, I was amazed at how quickly everyone found every bit of lore and story. And if we go over the previous theories on Reddit and YouTube, like MatPat's videos, we come up with the following. Before the events of 1987, 5 kids go missing when an employee dressed as an animatronic lures them to a back room and kills them. The killer hides 4 of the kids in the animatronics of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy while moving the 5th to another location or stuffing it into Golden Freddy." Keep in mind that at this point we're only looking at FNAF 1, so the kids don't have names yet. The killer then gets caught and convicted, but the bodies are never found, despite the suits leaking mucus and blood and smelling like rotting bodies. Then in 1987, an animatronic bites someone, removing their frontal lobe, which only causes more bad press for the company. Then a previous night guard known to us as Phone Guy starts recording his messages to train the one who would come after, potentially because he was thinking of switching professions or retiring. However, his retirement comes sooner than he expected when he gets killed by the animatronics while hiding out in a back room. Mike is then hired at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as a night guard to watch over the animatronics, where he spends 7 nights, gets paid, but also fired for smelling and tampering with the animatronics, even though he had been given the memo of Employee of the Month just a couple days before. And that's where the original story ended, full of mystery and general confusion, which only made the series more popular as a whole. But before we get into anything further, let me just say thank you for clicking on this video. If you love the FNAF series as much as we do and want to see more videos like this, plus we have a FNAF lore playlist as well that's more focused on the theories and the confirmed bits of lore. Both of those are linked in the icon in the top right corner of your screen, so click it. You won't be disappointed. Then comes the next game, and the rest of the series, which expanded on the first game in such a way that made most of what we just said just fanfiction. But like, canon fanfiction, you know? Since we know so much more now and the pieces fit together so much nicer, even if you have to bash them in with a hammer. So what is the current story of the first Five Nights game? Well, we'll go into it based on general theories, but I'll throw in some options in there as we go. Remember, we're looking at the story of the first game here, so details like the FNAF 2 location and circus babies are irrelevant, but will be explored in future videos if you guys like this one. Before the game starts, William Afton, working as a suit technician dressed as Golden Bonnie, lures 5 kids one at a time to the back room of a Freddy's restaurant and kills them, stuffing the bodies of Gabriel, Susie, Fritz, Jeremy, and Cassidy into the suits of Freddy, Chica, Foxy, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy, where their intense agony from being killed and ruthlessly shoved into animatronics allows them to possess the endoskeletons of their new coffins. William is suspected of a crime and investigated, but no bodies are found, so the charges are dropped, since they have no proof of foul play or any wrong part on his doing. This event, that becomes known as the Missing Children's Incident, ends up costing the company business and bad press. Then the situation gets worse when, in 1987, someone gets bit and loses their frontal lobe, which puts the company in dire straits. Then the player, known as Mike Schmidt, is hired as the security guard and notified via newspaper, the ones that are represented by the ones we see on the walls in game, and not by the company, that the restaurant will be closing at the end of the week. But as we would later learn, since we are the son of the man who committed those murders so long ago, we stay for the week and risk our life to try and set these 5 spirits free. We stay for 5 nights, unable to help. Then a couple nights later, we're fired for tampering with the animatronics, general unprofessionalism, and odor, most likely to prevent the company from having to pay a bigger severance package when the company goes under. The animatronics are retired, and our father continues to get away with the murder. It's also possible that instead of Michael, we play as Henry, William's business partner and at least previously part owner of the restaurants, the father of Charlotte, who is only mentioned in the books, not the games. As a victim of one of these crimes ourselves, we set out out on the mission to help those that we could and scare William along the way, using the name of one of his victims, Mike Schmidt, as an alias to be hired as a security guard. He then tries setting the souls free, but is caught, and the issue is brought up to William, who, upon seeing the name, knows that Henry is after him. So he orders that he be fired as quickly as possible and with as many reasons as possible to ensure that Henry can't fight it. Thus the additions of general unprofessionalism and odor, which are honestly not entirely valid reasons. This gives William the idea to dismantle them himself, which he tries to do, hiding in the safe room after each disassembly, but that ultimately fails, having the spirits appear in their child form, causing him to go into the spring-lock suit to feel powerful, but getting spring-locked in the process. Then Henry, as the copyright owner, uses his position to seal off the safe rooms, trapping William inside for the next 30 years. But what happens next? Well, I have to talk about that in another video, won't we? So there we have it, friends, the secret full story of Five Nights at Freddy's. I know that we all knew the real version, but the original is pretty unknown to some people, and kind of interesting. Because at the time, we had it right, but the series is constantly changing so much that it really became obsolete. I hope that you enjoyed this blast in the past, and if you did, be sure you let us know by hitting that like button, and let us know below about what your favorite FNAF lore moment is. While you do that, I'll read out some comments from recent videos. Katie Reed said, "Possession isn't real. Oh honey, let's go to Connecticut to go to the museum." Okay, bring it on! Possession isn't real. That's why they say ghosts don't appear around non-believers, right? Trust me, I'd love to believe in ghosts, but it's just not possible. Okay, but also, I meant that in a sense of like, if you get killed in a Freddy's location, you wouldn't end up possessing an animatronic, so stop saying that you want to die in a Freddy's. You're gonna fight that point? Really? You should know better than that. This is the internet. Techno Dusk said, "That shirt though. Mumbo 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 AFK. I'm gonna take that mustache away." Mumbo 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 AFK. I wrote that part while wearing the shirt. I don't know if I'm filming it in the shirt. I mean, I'm not now, but while I was writing this, I was wearing the shirt, so I didn't know at the time. But like, I don't want to film too many videos in the same day because then people are gonna think I'm gross and don't shower because I'm wearing the same shirt all the time. I mean, like, it's true, but I don't want people to think that. Raven Zombie said William was possessed by a kid. Maybe the kid killed the bullies and William is innocent. No, William is definitely not innocent, considering how, you know, he killed 5 kids. And the one that possesses him is probably his first kill, since he would have had to kill someone before deciding to kill in a pizzeria, right? I mean, like, it makes sense that there was one before everything else. And like, as for Chica's line in Ultimate Custom Night, she would have been the first out of the missing children from the incident, but not the first overall kill, you know? And the original kill would have ended up possessing him and keeping him alive to torture him for as long as possible. It makes sense. And good on them. Honestly, that's the kind of work ethic I need in my life. That's the kind of dedication that I need from friends. That's goals right there. David McKenna said, "Yo, watch Willy's Wonderland. It's not a cash grab, it's a lot more different kinda. The main killers possess the animatronics, and there's 8 animatronics except for 4. That just sounds like FNAF with extra steps. And if I can change a couple lines of a popular research paper, re-release it so I can make money off of it, then get sued for plagiarism, then this movie should too." That's basically what it did. You said yourself that it's a lot more different, kinda. Like, I'm not hating on the movie by any means. You know it was because of FNAF hype and not because they spent years working and prepping the script and spent a lot of time casting. I mean, you don't really cast Nick Cage if you're really trying to make like a solid movie, do you? I mean, unless it was Sorcerer's Apprentice. Chris Torres said, "Why does he remind me of Top 10? Because this is a Top 10 channel." Like, what do you mean I remind you of Top 10? Do you mean like most amazing Top 10? Because that's our sister channel. We work with those guys on a regular basis. I mean, Che used to host on this channel too. Like, the first time we went into lockdown, he was helping out. For some reason, they wouldn't let me do a collab on Top 10, but hey, that's not my call. Not that I'm salty about it or anything. That's all the time we have for comments today. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.